Hello everybody, it's the Alone Clash here, and today we are back with another video. Just want to address a couple things first. One, you might hear music in the background. I'm sorry. My brother's listening to some music upstairs, and I cannot do anything about it. It's the only time I get to record, so it's better to get this video out than not. Number two, I haven't been on YouTube a lot lately, and I'm going to make a video on its own explaining that, and I just want to get a video out there that I'm going to make a video. So, as you guys can see from the title, it is a Raichu GX review. We're going to go over the new card from Shining Legends. Is supposed to be available in Champion, but I messed up. So here's the basics of the card. Raichu GX is a Stage 1 card. It evolves from Pikachu, has 210 HP, it's electric type Pokemon, has 3 attacks. First one's a powerful Spark, does 20 damage plus the amount of energy attached to your electric energy attached to all your Pokemon. Thunder, 116-30 to itself. And Voltail GX does 120 damage and is now paralyzed. So, Thunder, we're mainly focusing on Powerful Spark and Thunder. Now, Powerful Spark is like the same attack as Darkrai, and we'll get into the differences between Darkrai and Raichu in a second. But it's the same attack as Darkrai's. It also has Thunder, which does 160 damage and 190 with a choice band, which is pretty cool. So let's look at the positives of this card. It has great attacks. Powerful Spark is a great attack, and Thunder is a great attack. It has, you can hit 190, which knocks out Ho-Ohs, Drampas. Powerful Spark destroys Ho-Oh. You won't even need to use Thunder, really. It has nice synergy with Electro, which we'll also talk about later in the video. It has a light retreat cost of only 1, so you don't have to waste that many energy when you're treating. Some negatives of the card: it has a fighting weakness, which is pretty bad right now with the likes of Buzzwole GX and Marshadow GX coming around. And also it needs Choice Band for like Thunder to get knockouts on Drampas at anything 180. And to get higher numbers with Powerful Spark. And it's very Field Blower weak, and it's also a Stage 1. So Stage 1 means it's going to take longer to get out, and yeah. So let's go look at this. So now, since Darkrai is the same attack as Raichu, I was going to go over the differences between the two, and maybe compare them. So let's start with Darkrai. So Darkrai EX, the EX deck, you guys can see the two main cards in the deck. It's Darkrai EX and Darkrai GX. So let's look at it. So at the strengths, it's a basic Pokemon. It's not a Stage 1, which means you can set up quicker. You can Ultra Ball these out and just put them on the bench. Also, the Max Elixir is more effective. You play Max Elixir in both decks, but it's definitely more effective. It has the Restoration Darkrai GX, which, I mean, obviously adds more energy onto the board, and also it's a pretty decent secondary attacker. Its weaknesses: it has a fighting weakness, it has less HP than Raichu, and it has a weaker secondary attack. Because you're heavily relying on Choice Band with this, and type thing with Darkrai. This is just a basic version, and that's why it's called Turbo Darkrai. Raichu GX, however, has some other strengths. It has a secondary attack, which is pretty good. It takes lives. It has bigger HP than Darkrai. It has a less retreat cost, which means it doesn't have to be. You can't really pull it into active. All you have to do is attach. It has Electrode Synergy again. Its weakness is the Stage 1, which means you could have to evolve into it, while Darkrai you can just put it down and attack. It has a weakness to fighting like Darkrai. Weakness to fighting is a big thing right now. It is bad. Buzzwole GX, Marshadow GX, it's something bad right now. And it's just a slower deck. So, in comparison, the deck is just going to be a slower version of Darkrai, but it might have more outs than Darkrai. So I think it's still a unique deck, and I think, in my opinion, it's a little bit better than Darkrai. So let's look at some partners for Raichu GX. Now, Raichu GX is an electric-type Pokemon, so we're obviously going to be looking at some electric-type Pokemon for partners. So our first partner is going to be a Magnezone. Now, Magnezone is one of the main partners people have been pairing with it. It has an ability called Magnetic Circuit. As often as you like during your turn, before you attack, you may attach an electric energy from one of your hand to one of your Pokemon, and Thunder Blast, which you're not going to use. This card's really just for attaching the energy, and you can attach it. The only thing is, the bad thing is, it's a Stage 2, it's clunky, and sometimes it's not clunky, and it's too clunky. But it's definitely something that you could play. People playing it with Pikachu EX. It's been working. I've tested it, and I've tested this, and I found a version that works better, which we'll go into in the next slide. Also, there's a Raichu from Shining Legends that you could play it with. It has Booming Thunder. Attach an electric energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. It's like Evital, but with one less energy, so you could always attach more energy that way. It's obviously Magnetic. It's a basic Pokemon, so that's why you play it over Magnetic Circuit. And finally, Dragonair, which I think is like an in-between between these two. This is like a basic. That's a stage 2. This is like the kind of the in-between. That's why I put it kind of in between. It has a attack called Dragon Swish. During your next turn, you may attach any amount of energy cards from your hand to your Pokemon. So you can just like pile up energy. So, I'm sorry about that. The Magnetic Circuit is a little bit better because you can do it on every turn. Dragon Swish is just for that one turn, but yeah, if you can hit a bunch of energy on that turn, you'll be good for the rest of the game. You might only have to, then you can just focus on manual attachments and max elixirs. Or, in my opinion, the best partner for it is going to be a Worthy Sacrifice Electrode. Electrode comes from XY Evolutions, and it's one of the better cards in the set. There's like 3 cards that are playable in the set. It's really sad that there's like 3 cards that are playable in the set. It's the Voltorb from Evolutions, Electrode, and Starmie. Technically, if you want to count the Staryu in, then yeah, and Brock's Grit. Those are like the 4 that are any good from Evolution. So, good job, Electrode. We're going to be looking at the ability. Once you're in turn before you attack, you may knock out this Pokemon and attach it to one of your electric Pokemon as a special energy card. This card provides 2 electric type energy only while this card is attached to a Pokemon. That's awesome. It may just boost Raichu's attack even more. You can just attach it. It's kind of like a Venusaur, but the only thing is you have to knock it out. So let's look at the strength of this card. It's energy acceleration at a cost, which your opponent does take a prize off of this, just so you know. It powers up Raichu really quickly. You can shuffle it back in with Rescue Stretcher. If you really let's say you need 2 more energy left, I need 2 energy to get the knockout for the final 2 prizes. They have 2 prizes left too. You can just knock out this Electrode, and they have 1 prize left, and you can still take the KO. It doesn't really matter. You can shuffle it back in with Rescue Stretcher and pick it up. It's Ultra Ballable energy, which means you can search out the Ultra Ball, and maybe that's a cool thing if you've used all your Super Rods. Weaknesses, obviously they take a prize. I didn't put that down because I thought it was pretty obvious, but in the end I'm just like, maybe we need to. And Enhanced Hammer kills it because it is technically a special energy, and all they have to do is get the Enhanced Hammer. Volcanion is definitely going to be a problem because most Volcanion lists are starting to play E-Hammer, and you're starting to see the rise of the hammers. So if the hammers start to rise, this deck will I think Raichu will still be an archetype. I think it'll be paired with Magneto. But right now there's not a lot of hammer decks going around. I think there's hardly any. So Electrode's definitely the better pair right now. So here's some other tools to be using in this deck. You'll be using Tapu Koko GX, which is an ability Arrow Trail. When you play this Pokemon from your hand into your bench, you basically put it into the active. I'm sorry about the image quality. I don't know what happened on the Tapu Koko, but you can put your hand into the bench, and then it comes into the active, and with all the energy on it, however much you choose. Skyhug Claws is 130 for 3, and Tapu Thunder GX, which you could probably use it for, it's like a one-hit KO basically. It does 50 damage times the amount of energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. That's great. 2 DCEs, you're doing 200. It's amazing. You're also going to be using Max Elixir, which to power up energy. And where would I put my Max Elixirs on? You can put it on a Koko, or if you're not going to use it, or you can put it on a Raikou's, because you play 2 Raikou's in most lists, which has it's a pretty good card. It's have attack just like Raichu's. If this Pokemon has any electric energy attached to it, this damage done by this Pokemon's attacks is reduced by 20. Thunderlance 50 plus 20 for every electric attached. Raikou's good, and it has better base damage than Raichu. It's like 2 energy already, 2.5 energy already, and it also takes 20 less damage. So that's pretty good, and that's also a basic Pokemon you can max Elixir to, but you can't max Elixir to already evolved Raichus. So obviously you have to get like Turbo Bridget, like 2 Pikachus and a Raikou. You max Elixir like 2 times, and then you hard attach, and then you can just start attacking. It's really good. And also, Thunderlance only does it to attach to Raikou, so you have to remember that it's only to Raikou, not to all of them. and that's why Raichu's attack is a little bit better. So, also, when I was going through this, there was a couple cards I forgot to mention in my slide presentation. First one was the pre-evolution Pikachus. I'm like, I can't believe I forgot these. They're useful. There's an XY promo. I think it's promo number 202 or something like that. It's a Pikachu. It's just a little Pikachu. Pretty cute. It's actually one of my favorite promos. I have one of them. It's worth $5, which is a lot of money. It has an attack called Charge that allows you to search your deck for energy and to attach it to one of your Pokemon. That's pretty good if you're just not going to be able to evolve a turn. So, I don't know, I think that's cool. And also, if you're going to play Pikachus in this deck, you need to get the Sun and Moon 76 promo, which is a Pikachu with 70 HP, and that really helps against evolution when Espeon de-evolution decks. So, those are just some things I want to talk about the Pikachus that actually sometimes play a role, especially at Charge 1. So, yeah. So, in conclusion, I'm going to give this deck a final rating of, I'm going to tell you later. Before we get to that, I do want to give thanks to Pokemaster Kenny. I read his article to get a lot of the information. Some of the information is my own, like the other people pair it with. He has a bunch of other stuff in depth on his site. You can go check it out. I'll put the link in the description. If that link doesn't work, you just type it in. I'm sorry. The deck list for this will be coming soon. There is one on his site. I'm gonna modify it a little bit because I think I'm not gonna just put his list in my video and copying his work. And also I think I have a couple ideas I want to try. So now I'm gonna get to the final rating of the card. Now the final rating of this card is gonna have to do with a couple things. So we're gonna have to look at it at the goods and the bads. The goods, it has amazing attacks. It's powerful. It can deal some crazy damage. The bad, it has a fighting weakness, and it's a stage 1. But the goods definitely outweigh the bads. And I'm going to give it a final rating of an 8 out of 10. Now, that's not necessarily mean the card's the worst, but definitely I think it has a ton of potential and definitely has a place in the event. I just don't know where it's going to be. It's probably not going to be the BDIF or the best deck in format, but it's definitely going to have somewhere where we can use it. So, I wanted to thank you all for watching this video. I'm going to try to do more videos like this with side presentations. I really think that I like them better than just other things. I think they work a lot better. I'm going to try to do some more like deck reviews. Maybe a Zoroark GX1. Or, I can go over Golisopod variants if you guys want. Just put your preference in the comments below. And for now, this is the Alolan Champion, signing out.